Hey, Todd, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can.
Todd, can you speak to how Lenny throughout the season has handled this kind of platoon system of Rashad? And just now, are we starting to see the benefit of this, two tailback system just based on the way he played last night?
Well, Lenny's a true pro. He understood it. He knows Rashad's up and coming. He knows he has a lot to offer as well. Really doesn't matter who starts for us between the two. It's about who gets hot during the game and then who makes the plays. So he's a team player, and we're happy he is.
He tweeted out earlier today that he's dealing with a Liz Frank. Can you tell us the severity of that?
No, he ran pretty good yesterday, so I don't know the severity of it yet. The training room doesn't open until 3 today, so I'll get the reports then.
Thanks, Todd.
We'll go to Scott Reynolds.
Todd, can you give us an update on the severity of Tristan Wirfs? I know he was limping a little bit. He finished the game, but did he re-aggravate that ankle at all? Is that something that concerns you without Josh Wells and that situation happening with your tackles? Is there a chance Donovan Smith returns this week?
Hopefully Donovan returns. Tristan re-aggravated it towards the end of the game. I think somebody fell on the back of it. Again, we'll get the reports later when he comes in and see how it is. But anytime you lose one and then you have one out and then you may lose another one, it's always concerning.
Can you assess the play of Brandon Walton? I know that's not ideal, right, to have essentially your third string tackle come in and play, but he had to. How did he play once you had a chance to look at the film?
He battled, fundamentally he wasn't sound all the time. He battled. You go up against J.J. Watt, you're going to lose some battles, but he hung in there enough to give us some plays, and he fought. I credit the guy for fighting.
Thank you, Todd.
We'll go to Evan Winter. If any media have questions, please raise your hand.
That final drive in overtime, but really the offensive line and the running backs as well really helped allow him to complete all of his passes, with good protection. Just wanted to get your thoughts of what you saw on tape when it comes to the protection on that final drive.
The protection was decent, and he was getting the ball out a little quicker there. We were turning up, shortening some routes for him as well, just to help out the protection. The guys were all on the same page, and they fought. They knew that it was witching hour for us, and they had to come through with a play, and they did. They built up a drive. They got us a field goal.
And then on Russell Gage, I know he got a little nicked up. How is he doing? Is there any update on him?
No update at this time until the training room opens, but, from a blocking standpoint, we thought he did a heck of a job yesterday.
Thanks.
Jeneline.
Hey, Coach. Sorry I didn't get to see you yesterday. Merry Christmas. Early on in the game, you guys had a lot of success on a 14-yard run by Leonard Fournette, and then you went to 3 straight run plays, including going for it on 4th down. Didn't have as much success there. I'm just curious from your vantage point. It seemed like one of the plays you ran it twice, and was there any thought to possibly going to some play action there or going to a pass play on that?
I would have thought, but you like to think you can get 1 yard. You don't really need to play action all the time to get a yard. There were 2 3rd and 2s. We went for it by pass, and we did not get as well. So then we didn't get a 4th and 1 play before, but we got to be able to get 1 yard. We're letting one guy go here and there on the stunt, and they're catching us in the backfield. We got to be better than that.
Thank you. And short yardage, I know, has kind of been an issue throughout the year. Can you pinpoint what exactly has kind of gone wrong, or is it just kind of a multitude of things and it's something different every time?
Like I said, it's mostly something different every time and a different guy every time. Either we let a guy run free into the backfield and penetrate. When you give up penetration and short yards, it's not going to turn out too well.
Thank you.
Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Coach, obviously, you talk about meaningful games in December and you've got that, and you've got a really important week, what this is setting up for now. What's the message to the team this week in terms of what this game means and what kind of sealing the deal this week, as opposed to letting it play out, throughout the rest of the regular season, which there isn't much time left, obviously, but what's the message in terms of the intensity and kind of closing this thing out this weekend?
Well, we know the importance of the game. That doesn't need to be harped on. It's really about detailing our work, detailing ourselves, and making sure Sunday we go on a Sunday with no stone unturned mentally, and make sure they get as physically well as they can to be ready to play the Panthers.
JP Peterson.
Did you guys talk about challenging that particular play, that spot?
I'm sorry, go again. I didn't hear you. You were off.
Oh, sorry. You got me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah, right before Connor's touchdown run, it looked like you'd stopped McSorley short of the first down, and looked like you also got a really bad spot on that. Did you guys talk about challenging that particular play?
We talked about it. They said they weren't changing it. They got a good look at it, so it's kind of pointless.
Oh, okay. Also, with Fournette being injured yesterday, and I know he ran really well, Rashad had a good start to the game, but didn't seem like he got any touches until the third quarter. Was there a reason he didn't play or get back in the rest of the first half?
No, we got to rotate it a little bit better. Lenny got going a little bit more, so they rolled the hot hand a little bit. But I thought Rashad could have got in there some more plays. We'll be better at that going forward.
Thanks, Coach.
Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, I know stopping the run has been something that's been vital to your defense the last few years. And I know at times this season you've gotten away from that a little bit. Was there anything that jumped out to you as to why they weren't able to do that there, like on a couple of those Connor runs?
It was really one. Two of them we missed tackles on that went for some yards. The touchdown run, there was miscommunication, so we got lined up wrong.
And also, I know Carlton Davis got a lot of praise for his performance in this game, but Sean Murphy-Bunting had like 2 key pass breakups. It seemed to be one of his better games. Can you just speak to his performance yesterday?
Sean's been playing well the last 2 weeks. He's mentally prepared during the week. He practices hard. He understands what he has to do. He's one of our smartest players back there. He rises to the challenges of the games, and he's been playing well.
Thank you so much.
Joey Knight.
There's obviously a lot frustrating about that first meeting against the Panthers. Just going back and reviewing that game, what was the most frustrating part of that afternoon?
Well, obviously, we didn't stop the run, and we didn't score a lot of points. So, it was a lot of frustrating things in that ball game. They played a good game, and we did not. So we got to try to switch that this time around.
Have you had occasion to watch them lately? Obviously, they're playing very well. How they've evolved since the last time you played them?
Haven't gotten a chance to watch them lately yet, but we'll dive into that shortly.
Okay.
We have time for a few more. We'll go to Scott Reynolds.
Todd, you were talking about maybe wanting to see a little bit more Rachaad White in the game in terms of the rotation. I know you've got a lot on your plate on game day. You're dealing with game management from a head coaching perspective, and you got to call the plays on defense. How much interaction do you have with Byron in terms of directing what you want to see happen out there, whether it is incorporating a player a little bit more into a rotation or, a particular play call, run it here or pass it here? Obviously, he's the offensive coordinator. You're going to let him call the plays, but how much direction and interaction do you have with Byron during the game?
Byron calls the plays. If I see something and we have to talk about something, I'll talk about it, but you don't interrupt a guy that's a play caller. You let him call plays. He has a job. Everybody on the staff has a job to do, and you let him do it. But we have interaction on things and situations that we want to do, and I'm on the offensive headset all the time when they're play calling. So the interaction between us on the sideline is fine. As far as seeing Rachaad more, I think Lenny was fine riding with a hot hand. But if he feel like he's tired and you got to give him a blow or two, you put the other guy in. Just like if Rachaad is hot, you don't put Lenny in just as much. So it balances out. And we don't get into how many plays one guy plays or the other guy plays. The production of who's on the field is there, and we go with that.
When you look at this game coming up here with Carolina, is this going to be a game that's just going to be decided in the trenches, right? They want to run the ball. They've averaged 188 yards over the last 3 games on the ground, including 320 in the win over the Lions. Is this just really going to be a matter of who can win in the trenches on both sides of the ball is going to determine the winner?
It's going to be part of it, obviously. You line up too much in the trenches and that ball's going to go over your head from either team. So we understand that as well. I think the team that doesn't have the turnovers will probably win the ball game.
Thanks, Todd.
We'll go with Evan Winter and then Sarah Walsh.
Am I on? Sorry, I thought I was on mute. I was unmuted. My bad. Hey, coach. So on the missed touchdown pass to Chris Godwin, yeah, the Cardinals brought the outside corners on the blitz. Well, sorry, on the simulated pressure. It looked like Godwin pointed out that the guy in front of him, the Cardinals defender, was about to come on that blitz, and Tom's always been known for his super fast processing. It kind of felt like he would have been able to complete that pass to Godwin just a little bit earlier if he got rid of the ball just a little bit sooner. Is that kind of tangible in your mind? And if so, would you like to see something like that sharpened up in the next couple of weeks?
Well, they have a lot of different blitzes, and Godwin's not the only guy he has to process out there. They got 10 other guys look like they were coming too, and a lot of people are pointing. So, walk in the shoes before we decided to criticize that one play. There was a lot of people pointing and a lot of people coming. We just missed the throw and missed the play. Again, they got some difficult blitz packages that we didn't handle all the way through, and the ball was overthrown or it was mistimed. So, it was a lot of stuff you had to deal with on that play.
Thank you.
Sarah Walsh.
Todd, I'm curious from an anxiety standpoint, you guys now have done these like last minute finishes against the Rams, against the Saints, last night in Arizona. From an anxiety standpoint, does it give you peace of mind that you continue to win this way? So you're like, okay, we got it. Or is it never okay? And you're like, could we just not be coming down to the wire this way?
The day after the game, once we win, I have the best peace of mind in the world. But during the game, it's probably not healthy for me in the long run at all. You don't want them to come down this way. You like the fight and everything, but I like to win by double digits at times.
All right, that's all we have, Coach. Thanks.
Thanks.